This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Carolina Errazuriz, recent graduate of the Business Accelerator. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tell us about you. Where are you from? What do you do?
I'm from Chile. I was born and grew up in Chile, but I moved to the US 26 years ago. I married a Chilean, and he was living in New York, so we moved to Greenwich, Connecticut, and raised our family there 26 years ago.
Okay. And what do you do?
Well, I studied psychology in Chile before moving to the US, and then I dedicated myself to raise my kids, which is something I really wanted to do full time. So a big lap of time passed, and by the time I wanted to go back to being a psychologist, life coaching had come out. And I decided to pursue that instead because it has a different outlook, like a more positive, creative outlook than therapy. So I went to school for life coaching.
Okay. And what was going on with you professionally before you joined us on the Accelerator? What were some of the challenges, or what was happening?
Well, I had the big challenge that I wanted, and I knew I had to create an online program in order to reach out to a bigger audience. I had clients, but not too many, and I really didn't know how to transit to that. So I tried several business courses online and things, but I never really got into it. So I kind of got stuck with it. I just had some clients, and I also didn't want to do the regular coaching, regular life coaching, or speaking to someone once a week and holding their hands. Rather, I wanted to create a method that was teaching them how to use their brain. I have always been interested in the brain and how it works, and so I thought, why not teach people how to use their brain rather than do it for them? So kind of like teaching them how to fish rather than giving them a fish. So I decided to create this program. And it took me a long time to create it, and it's about rewiring your brain, and it's based in neuroplasticity, in the concept of neuroplasticity. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
And so I'm very proud of it, and I really believe in it, and I love it. But I was lacking that piece, which was very important, which is the online program, and that's why I joined the Business Accelerator program.
Okay. And what about you personally? What were some of the things that you knew you wanted to improve in yourself in order to be a better teacher?
Probably my social skills and being able to express myself in public and to reach out to other people in a public arena. So for which I started to give workshops. So last spring, I realized that I had nobody depending on me anymore. My son had moved to LA to work for SpaceX. My daughter is a senior in college, and my dog passed away. So I was by myself living in the suburbs. And I thought, what am I here? I should open up to the world and start going to bigger places and move around and get involved with the world more, basically. So I decided to leave my apartment, put everything in storage, and move. But I wanted to stay through the summer, giving workshops in New York at the WeWork locations. I don't know if you're familiar with WeWork.
Yeah, but for people that aren't, what is WeWork?
It's a company that rents share office spaces. And it's very community-based. So they provide their members with services such as this so-called lunch and learn, which is an hour at lunchtime where members can talk about their businesses to other members. So I took the opportunity to do that. I had an office. I was renting an office in one of their buildings in New York, and I decided, why not do that? And I created a mini workshop to rewire your brain in order to accomplish your goals for the entrepreneurs that worked at these places. And I gave 30 lunch and learns actually throughout the summer, and it went great. I discovered that I loved it. I loved doing these workshops, and it was very well received too. I started having that taste for changing people's lives, and having someone give you a hug at the end of the workshop and thanking you from their heart for giving them that aha moment, or showing them a different way was really priceless. So I thought, this is it. I have to now create an online program so I can go all over the world to all their locations there, all over the world, and gather and cater to those people, because they're not in the self-development arena. So to bring it to people that are not into that, disguised in a way with reaching your goals and like your entrepreneurial goals, but at the end it's always, the conversation goes back to what's your life purpose,
right?
With this program. So it's really great. It's amazing, and they come from all kinds of, they're all ages and all kinds of industries, and so that's really fun for me.
Okay, and why London Real?
So my son has been a follower of yours for a long time, and he always shared the interviews that he thought would be interesting for me to listen to. And so I knew about London Real because of that. I would listen to these interviews. And then one day he sent me, because we're both followers of Ido Portal. We actually did one of his workshops in the US.
Oh,
Not,
nice.
I didn't meet him, we did it with his team.
Okay.
And in Queens, and it was great. And we have been followers of the movement culture since then. And when I saw that documentary you did on Ido, and I saw you doing this, I thought, this Brian Rose, I'm going to research him a little bit more, because I wasn't very interested in the fighters that you interview or things like that. So I thought, this is really cool. He's very interesting. So I subscribed to your programs, and this summer, in September, I started to receive the emails promoting Business Accelerator, and I had this strong sense that this was the time and the moment to join this program. So I didn't really research it anymore, and I just signed for it right away.
Okay.
So
okay, that's
yeah.
good to know. All right, talk to me about the course. The first 2 weeks, you get thrown in. Right?
Yeah.
There's the video modules, there's the live calls with me twice a week, accountability doc, and 150 people around the world in your class. You're uploading videos to Facebook. What's it like?
Well, it was really hard for me at the beginning. It was tremendously hard, especially because I was coming from a very insecure and fearful place. And that's because I was staying at a friend's over the summer, because I had just moved out of my house, planning on starting this like nomadic life, like location-free working and living dream that I had. And I was going to go to DC, then Boston, and Florida, Texas, all that, moving towards California, giving my workshops, and doing the online program. And the friend I was staying with, just 3 days before I started my moving away and the program, committed suicide. And I had been living with him for the past 3 months, and I had absolutely no clue that he was in this desperate situation, and that he was with chronic depression or anything. Wow. He wouldn't have even make it to a list of people that I suspected were in trouble. I mean, it was so far off. And when it happened, it just literally pulled the rug under my feet. And I went into a very insecure place inside of me. I don't know why that happened, but I think it's because I really felt he was a very strong man, and I admired him for many reasons. So that he would quit on life, it made me very insecure. I don't know why. And so I started in a bad footing. I started the course feeling very self-conscious, very self-judgmental, and I compared myself to everyone. Not only that, but also I had zero knowledge or skills on online, anything. You know, I didn't have a Facebook. I didn't have anything, and I am a very outdoors nature person, and I would much rather be in the woods than in front of a computer. So I didn't have Instagram, nothing. So everything was a big, it was hard for me to learn everything. And I unfortunately was comparing myself all the time to everybody that was great, and doing a vlog was really hard. I couldn't believe how terrible I was. And so the very beginning, throughout the course, it was really hard, but I learned so many good lessons. I mean, it was the best thing I've ever done by far.
How did you make it through?
Well, because I decided from the beginning, one of the things that kept me going and that really inspired me at all times was that this interview was imagining this moment that I wanted to dedicate to my kids, because they have been supporting me all my life. They believe in me more than I believe in myself. They're amazing. I admire them and I look up to them, and they are so, they give me unconditional love, and they support me and they believe in me so much. And when I imagine that if at the end of this course I would be sitting in front of you having this interview, just that image kept me going. I thought, I have to do it. I have to do it. And I wanted to quit from the beginning because of what happened. Yeah. I didn't feel strong enough. And then I thought to myself, okay, forget about doing it right. Just do it, which I've never done before. So that was lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 that you taught me was take 100% responsibility. And it's amazing how that empowers you. The minute you think in terms of, I'm responsible 100% for everything that's going on, the power comes back to you. Because then you immediately, your brain starts figuring out how to deal with the problems rather than who to blame. And so you step out of the victim mode very quickly and start just fixing things and being very resourceful, which we're very good at. And so I learned that take 100% responsibility, and my favorite, which is the concept of resistance that you kept telling to us day in and day out, module in and module out. I mean, your program was a surprise to me because it was way more than a business program. I would say it's a mindset program. You are very transparent, very authentic, and you are very relatable. You're constantly reminding us that you were us, that you were there, and what you did about it, and how hard it was, and that you failed and everything. And because we all think you're amazing, and you are, and you have accomplished so much, we forget to think that you were a beginner, that you were struggling just like we were. So, and you kept reminding us of that all the time. Very relatable, very with us, and an amazing leader, really. And so, those are the lessons that I took out of it. The resistance, which I'm going to borrow that term. I decided that my program should be about rewiring your brain in order to deal with resistance, because we all have it. And it's the number 1 impediment to accomplishing your goals or any of your dreams is resistance. It's fear. And we all have it, and we're all stuck with it. So rewiring your brain in order to deal with resistance is key, and it's going to be really good, I'm sure.
What was the biggest thing you're going to take away from this course? Because I know you said that you just did the work, but you got some wins out of this course, right?
Well, the fact that I went through it from a very weak place made me believe and trust the process of things, and really understand that concept of looking at what you have accomplished rather than where you want to be all the time. Rather look at where you were and how much you have accomplished so far. That's very important. So I have more trust in me. Like, just go back to thinking of the process. Trust the process. it will always have ups and downs. It's always going to be more challenging. Once you get to the top of one mountain, then there is another mountain to climb that looks big and terrifying and everything all over again. But every time you're more equipped, wiser, cleverer. So yeah, it's very much like life.
Talk to me about the community. What are those team members like? What's it like to meet them in London here? How would you describe that to someone?
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. We are all amazed at how much love we feel for each other. I mean, the first thing you want to do is hug them. It's because there's such vulnerability. I always have a hard time saying that word. During the course, everybody's expressing their fears, their challenges, that you become very close and you start trusting these people very much, because nobody really criticizes you. Everybody wants to help you. And in a way, I feel bad that I was in this program from such a shy place, because I couldn't really give myself to them or receive them as much as I would normally do. But the good news is that we stay in touch from now on. And because this became very strong, quote unquote, friendships online, we can take from that place and move forward towards really becoming friends for life. And I know that's going to happen. And there's so many amazing people, other than the ones from my team, that I'm looking forward to connect with. And so it's a gift, really.
Yeah. And you have them for your life.
Yes.
And you have them very structured for the next 12 months.
Yes.
And you created your product and you ran your webinars, so you know you could do it. So now.
Yes. I'm very excited for what's coming up, actually. Yeah. Very excited. Yeah, I'm taking 2 more courses from you.
Uh-oh, really?
Yes.
Uh-oh. You're going to tell me which ones, or are you just going to show up?
No, I am taking the Speak to Inspire.
Yes, of course.
At the moment. And then I want to take the Broadcast Yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So to add to my toolbox.
Okay.
Both things.
And you were spying on me last night when I did some public speaking.
Yes.
In front of 300 people.
Yes.
And of course my students come to show up.
Yes.
So,
you did great.
Thank you.
It was awesome.
Thank you. It was, yeah, it's always fun to do that. Again, out of my comfort zone too. So
hard to believe.
Yeah, well, it was. Just want to know, as far as you personally, if we walked out on the street and I bumped into the Carolina who didn't take this course, what's she like compared to you now?
I would still be trapped in thinking that I'm not able to make this happen. I mean, always with carrying this dream with me, but now I feel it a reality. I feel it like I have the blueprint. I didn't create it completely my way or as good as I wanted it to be, but it doesn't matter, because I know that I just have to go back to revising everything, and the product is there. It's like it's born. It's born. So it has been born. It's great. So there's a big difference. Now I feel confident. Still at the very beginning, I still wear this coat a little bit uncomfortable, but I know there is no way back. It's gonna happen. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah, and you're going forward, and your teammates are going as well. So I think you're all going to be going together.
Yes, yes. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm already meeting people that I feel like I would have never met before outside Business Accelerator. I met this professor from Stanford University that came to one of my workshops, and he asked me to collaborate with him. He invented this app for knowing your unconscious. It's really cool, and he wants to create a weekend retreat where we combined my tools and his tools.
Excellent.
And before I would have been totally like, me, who are you talking to? But now I feel like, yeah, I've put a lot of effort into it. I'm definitely going to be able to be part of his work. So I'm looking forward for that.
Yeah. You guys are doing JV partners left and right. Everybody's got like 5 now, so it all makes sense.
Yes.
Final thoughts on anything, the course, the experience, you?
I can't believe I'm here, to be honest. Brian.
You made it happen.
Yeah, I'm still at awe that I'm here. And like I said, this is very, I know my kids are going to laugh when they see this, because it's, so I forgot the term in English. Cheesy?
Cheesy, what's that? Is that in Espanol?
No, cheesy.
Oh, cheesy.
Like, yeah, like corky, or I don't know. I think I'm using the wrong expression, but to be saying I'm dedicating this to my kids, you know, kind of thing.
That's awesome.
But I really feel that that's what I wanted. I wanted to tell them this. This is a surprise for them.
What's your son's name?
Nicolas.
Nicolas.
And Catalina.
And Catalina.
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 Yes.
Well, here's my message to Nicolas and Catalina. They should be very proud of their mother, because I had a call with you one-on-one in the first week, and I could tell there was a lot of resistance. And then you got thrown more resistance and more resistance.
Yes.
And yet you pushed through. And I was so impressed, because I knew it was harder for you than most anybody on the class.
Yes.
And you still finished, and you still came to London, and you still sat in that chair. And you got, in my opinion, maybe more lessons than other people who found it easy.
Yes.
And the biggest thing you said right there, extreme ownership is amazing. Resistance is an amazing concept. But the fact that you did it, even though it wasn't perfect, or maybe your heart wasn't 100%, that's how great businesses is made. That's how great art is made. When people show up and do the work, regardless of whether they're feeling it.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that's what makes it professional.
That's an amazing experience.
And so you did that. So I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Brian.
Welcome to La Familia of London Real. And you can see, like, you'll see tonight, there'll be 70 people here from the class. And it's like seeing old friends.
Yes, I can't wait to be with them.
Good. Well, like I said, very proud of you. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm expecting some big things from you this year. So you have amazing IP. People love you in person, and I just want them to feel that online, and we know you can do that. So
yes, thank you.
So let's do that.
I appreciate it. Thank you for everything you taught me.
All right. Well, we say it's about the journey. I wish you well on yours.
Thank you.
And let's do some big things.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Ryan.